All right, my people. Uh, I had to make a correction video. I made an error when I brought up District 11 Council Member Overstreet when I brought her name up, and I was referencing her to the sister cities to show that our sales tax dollars go to the sister cities. I I want to make the correction on that. It wasn't 2014. 2014, she wasn't even in office. She didn't get in the office until 2017. Um, so it wasn't the Haitians, it was the Bohemians. That's what she was involved in, the uh the relief aid for the Bohemians. And here's a video. I have a video clip of it. Hold on a minute.
So today is going to be a very special day. I'm quite excited about it. We have in the audience with us Consul General Astra and Brista Roll from the Bahamian Consulate. And if you would like to come up, prayer vigil tomorrow. And what tomorrow is going to represent is a relationship between the United States, namely Atlanta, Georgia, and the city of Freeport, Bahamas, in their time of need.
Okay. Okay. So you seen the video. Yeah, I just want to make that correction. I like to give you the 100. Nobody perfect, and I know I don't claim to be perfect. So if I make a mistake, with me, I'm gonna go and correct it. That's what I like to do. We all, should be thriving for that. Ain't nothing wrong with making an error, making a mistake here and there. We're not perfect. Never will be. But we can at least own up to our errors and our mistakes and get things in order. That is the order. Okay, so since I made that error on that, and the point I was trying to make was just showing how the Atlanta sister cities, these consuls, these governing bodies, how they use our sales tax dollars that we put in. I found some literature in one of the the 2019 annual um financial reports for the sister cities. They every year, every department has a financial report. And you can go to City Hall and request these reports, and you can see it for yourself, or you can Google it. But the financial reports you get from City Hall, you can get more detail because the one that you Google, that book they have, it's just an overlay. It doesn't, itemize how money was spent, how they receive money. So it's just this literature that's on there that just so happen to talk about $80 million worth of hospital supplies going to Jamaica, because Jamaica is one of the sister cities, Atlanta sister cities. And I'll pull that up for you right now while I'm running my mouth so you get a chance to look at it. So if you look at that third paragraph and you read that third paragraph, it talks about Jamaica, and it said Dominican Republican, but Georgia Tech was involved in it. And what happened was more than $80 million um went to medical supplies, and it went to Jamaica. It went to Jamaica, and then some went to what I see right here said to Germany. So that's just the point I was making, saying that how our sales tax dollars are being used, and how other government bodies are used, even though we need it. I mean, for things, rental assistance, even from improvement, beautification in our neighborhood. We talk about beautification. We talk about just as much as keeping the yards cut, keeping the public yards cut, the trees back. I mean, it's so many things we need in our neighborhood, and we can make a long list, but we don't get it majority of the time, even though we have something called community development block grants that's supposed to be solely for low income people in a county or a city. Even when we get those funds, we still don't get it, and somehow, some way, those funds still end up in the hands of other nationalities, other racial groups who have governing body, other councils, consulates. So that's just something that I wanted us to be aware of. This is all political, That's why I say this is all political. This is what politics is. This is how politics works. It's economics. We got to understand what economics. I should have put that definition up too of economics. And also, I talked about the EB-5 visa program. I was stuck on that. For some reason, I couldn't, get it in my head. There's so much going on, and I do so much studying, so much research, and deal with so many different projects. I just, I couldn't get that in my head. And I was hit by a car in 2014. It kind of slowed me down a little bit mentally, worse than what I already, I already deal with. But let me just show you a video on the EB-5 visa program that can explain to you what it is better than I can.
Attorney Mancheka, what are the main requirements to apply for an EB-5 visa?
There are three main requirements. Number one, you need to invest, and that's either $1 million or $500,000 in the United States. Number two, your investment needs to create 10 jobs in the United States. And number three, the money that you invest for the EB-5 needs to come from a lawful source.
Okay, so let's go back to the investment part. $500,000 and $1 million are a big difference.
Sure, of course.
So how much is it that we have to invest?
So that's going to depend on the geographic area in the United States that you choose to invest in. Let me explain. The law, the EB-5 law, basically says this. Look, the unemployment level in the United States is relatively low, very low. And if you invest in an area where the government doesn't feel like it needs more jobs, like because the unemployment rate is already very low, then you need to invest $1 million. On the other hand, if you choose to invest in an area where the unemployment rate is higher, then the government says, you know what, in that case, you're creating jobs where I need help, so I'm going to let you apply for the EB-5 with a discount. Instead of $1 million, you only need to invest $500,000.
Okay, so then how would I know in what area to invest?
So you're going to decide where you want to invest. And then when you come to me, I'm going to say, okay, tell me exactly where you're going to invest. And you're going to say, I'm going to put my factory or my investment in my business in a certain location. And I'll look up that location and I'll tell you whether you qualify for the $1 million or for the $500,000 investment.
And what is it that I will be investing my money in?
So it depends on a variety of factors. But let me tell you what most people do. Over 90% of all the people that apply for the EB-5 invest in a EB-5 regional center. Okay, and that's a fancy name for an investment fund that manages the money of the people who are applying for the EB-5 visa.
Okay, and how does this investment fund work?
So traditionally they work something like this. There's over 1,000 of these funds, right? So I'm just going to give you a general idea of how they work. So a regional center will say, look, I am developing an apartment complex in some city in the United States or a hotel or something, right? They have a project and they'll say, invest your money in my project. I'm going to manage your money. I'm going to put your money to work. And that money is going to create jobs in the building of my hotel or in the operations of the hotel or the apartment complex. And those jobs are going to be credited to you. That way you can tell the government you've invested and created the required number of jobs.
How do we find these investment funds?
Very simple. One of the things I do for all of my clients when they hire me is I give them a complete list of all the regional centers that are available out there, and my clients can check them out and pick the one that's best for them.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. You have to invest, you have to create 10 jobs. What's the next requirement?
The third main requirement is that the money you're investing for the EB-5 come from a lawful source. So we need to be able to prove that. I'll give you an example. Suppose you earned your money through being employed at a company, okay, and you have a nice salary and you've been saving your money and now you have $1 million in the bank. So we would need to prove that you've had this job, that you've been saving your money, and that money's accumulated to $1 million. And now you would then transfer that money into the EB-5 Regional Center, and we would document how you made it and that you transferred it to the EB-5, and that would do the trick.
Okay. So you seen how what it takes for a foreigner. These are foreigners. These are people who live overseas who want to come to America and they want to get full citizenship. So when they invest this money into these investment right now, pay attention to the conversation they had, to the terms they use. They got investment funds. So this means that investment companies can take foreigners who are a part of this EB-5 visa program. Say they want to build a apartment complex. Now you heard what they said. They said in areas where unemployment is high. Now that's just a slick way of saying in low income areas. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand the lingo. They can't just come out and just say it, because then that'll be slander, or they could be sued for racism. You know what I'm saying? They can catch a silver charge, you know, if they would just come out and say it. But that's how they use them slick little terms and stuff like that. A high unemployment area. So say they want to build an apartment complex, like what's going on here. They got these apartment complexes that's popping up, and you see these big time developers come. So what they do is they take the money, the 500,000. Say it take 20. They need an extra 20,000. So they just take 4 of the applicants who applied for the EB-5 visa program to get them that 20,000. So they ain't spending their money. You see what I'm saying? They just need that extra 20,000 push. Now the investment company may have already got money coming from tax credits because they're in an urban neighborhood, like the opportunity zone, funding and all that, and different tax credit that come along with investors building their houses in low income neighborhoods. Now they may just be like 20,000 shy, 30,000 shy. So however many thousand they shy, they can just go into the EB-5 visa program, pick by 5 or 6 people. You know what I'm saying? Well, for 4 to 6 people, if they need 20,000, they pick 4 people. They need 30,000, they pick 6 people, and then that's their money. So the investment company, the rich, these wealthy people already got money. They ain't got to spend no extra money. They just take the money from the EB-5 visa program and 500,000, and then what the people who, the foreigners, what they get is they comply with the requirements from the government. So now they finna get money coming from the project of the apartments that, you know, in the low income neighborhood. Plus they gonna get to have the green card for 5 years, and in that 5 years they're gonna have full citizenship. Plus they're gonna get that 500,000 back from the government. So it's a win-win for everyone except for us. You see what I'm saying? Everybody done won now. Everybody financially won. The investment company won. The foreigners who are part of the visa program, the EB-5 visa program, they winning. They financially winning. They economically winning. But we are the only people that's losing. So we only lose all this money coming off of our back. Then you see what's going on now with these slumlords. They become slumlords. They don't keep up the property, so it's all profit for them. You know, and then we have city council members, we have local officials who allow this stuff to go on. So everybody winning except for us who in the low income neighborhood who have to live in these places. And then they jack up the rent so they make even more money without even fixing anything on the property. You see what I'm saying? That all this is political. It's systemic racism, but it's also political because they go hand in hand. Systemic racism, because systemic racism is the foundation and the fabric of America. This is what I be trying to get us to understand. This is real politics. This is what we have to fight against. This is why having a governing body is so important. I'm not going to hold you. I just want to make that correction. This is an addition to the earlier video, just a correction to that video, and a little more education, insight on the EB-5 visa program and the sister city. So y'all, you know, so have a good day. And like I said, we're just going to keep this thing going and keep it moving. Keep pushing. All right.